Growing up here in Alabama, one of my favorite things to do was to crappie fish out in these local lakes and these water reservoirs. And the way we would do it was we would take a bucket full of live bait, some minnows with us out there, and we would throw a bobber out and just hang out on the water all day long and just reel in crappie. And for the past few years, I've been trying to figure out a way to incorporate a live well onto my kayak setup so that we could take the live minnow out with us. We could essentially keep our catch if we wanted to keep, 5 or 10 crappie and put them in a live well. I'd love to be able to do that on my kayak and not just have a stringer off the side of my boat. And what I've been doing lately, for the minnow part anyway, is I've been taking this little cheap Fraybill bait tank that I picked up at Walmart. It comes with a little air bubbler, a little battery powered thing, and it works for the most part, but it's really not practical for a kayak because you got to figure out where to keep it on the boat. You got to make sure you don't knock it over and spill all your bait out. And it works, but it's not exactly what I was looking for. You know me, I want to do something a little bit more custom, a little bit more permanent in my boat. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to design something that would recirculate lake water, just like a bass boat live well, and something big enough to keep my catch. Well, come to find out, I don't have to build it myself because a company already makes a live well for a kayak, and this thing is gonna be awesome. I got my hands on it this week, and in today's video, we're gonna install a custom kayak live well on my boat. Y'all stick around. All right guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's TJ, welcome to Kayak USA. So yeah, today we're gonna be installing a live well on my kayak, which sounds kind of crazy to some of y'all. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, why don't you just buy a bass boat? Well, I want a live well on my kayak, and dadgummit, that's what we're gonna install. So before we get started in the build today, I do wanna give a huge shout out to OutdoorPlay.com. They are this week's video sponsor, and they have, if you've never heard of these guys, they have everything that you can think of for outdoor activities, from kayak fishing to hiking to camping to all the way up to snow skiing and snowboarding. So if you're looking for anything outdoor related like that, like you kayak guys that are watching this video, go to their website, go to their kayak accessory section and look at what they have. They carry everything from rigging a kayak all the way up to a kayak trailer. Yes, you can literally order a kayak trailer from OutdoorPlay.com and have it shipped to your house. Everything is price match guarantee on their website, and they offer free shipping on any order over $49, and it is worldwide. So if you're watching this video and you're not in the United States, don't worry. You can go to OutdoorPlay.com, order this stuff. They carry name brand stuff too. So you can order it, have it shipped to your house within a couple of days. For instance, this week I wanted to try out this new Hobie life jacket, and I seen they carried it on their website. They have the best prices hands down already, but if you do find it priced cheaper somewhere else, OutdoorPlay.com will price match it. But I wanted to try this out, so I ordered it. It was on my front porch within 3 days. That's how fast these guys are. So check them out. If you've never heard of them, their link will be in the video description below, OutdoorPlay.com. I really appreciate you guys sponsoring this week's video. Now let's get into this install. This is the live well that we're installing today. It is actually, I believe, made by Hobie, and that's what I mean by this is a custom live well for my kayak. This is the Livewell V2 live bait tank by Hobie, and it is custom because this live well actually is designed to fit in the back of this Hobie and utilize these scupper holes that are up under our battery box here, which we are gonna be relocating. I know if you've been following along, you know that I just built this custom Dakota lithium battery box behind the seat. We're gonna be changing it up a little bit because we have to utilize these two scupper holes that are right here for this bait tank. And I've already got it unboxed. This is the bait tank, and it's got a handle on it, so it's actually, they didn't design it to be like a permanent fixture. They wanted it to be able to be used in and out if you wanted to, but I kind of want to make it permanent, not as permanent as drilling it and mounting it, but I do want to keep it on the boat if I can, so I don't have to remove it and change up the way I have the layout of the back of my boat. So that also means that we are going to be doing some modifications to this live well. We're gonna customize it just a little bit. If you've been following along, a lot of you guys have been asking about this bad boy right here. That is a center hatch tray I've actually got a couple of them here, for a Hobie. And all this is what comes factory in the center hatch of these Hobies. So when you open that hatch, it kind of tilts forward and it angles your two boxes. I got a couple right here. When you open up that center hatch, it just angles them to you. I modified that one and hung it off the side of my kayak, and a lot of you guys love it. I get so many questions. I actually made a short video here on YouTube on my channel about how I did that, so you can check that out. And if you're looking for these, I'll have them linked in the video description below. You can click the link and go straight to where I got these if you want to modify one so you can have some exterior storage for tackle like I do. But what I'm thinking is we're going to have these cut up. I'm just going to cut the handles and the stuff that we don't need off of this, and we're going to mount these on the side of this live well. I'm going to mount one on this side and one on this side because we've got the room. They'll be out of the way, and that'll give me 4 places for, 4 more spots for these tackle bins that I like to use. And I really do like using these smaller ones. I think these are called the 3600s. Let's see. Yeah, these are the 3640-1s if you're interested in which model number these Planos are, and I'll have them linked as well in the video description. But these are the ones I like to use because you can't overfill them with tackle, and you can clearly grab them and spin around, pop them open, and get your tackle out. I've also got the storage box up under my seat that I use for tackle. So this is really a good thing to use so you don't have to carry a whole bunch of the big ones, as I don't know if they're on camera, but I've got a ton of the big ones that I used to carry with me. I've kind of converted to these smaller ones, but now I can add 4 more to the side of this kayak. And on top of that, this kayak already comes with 3 rod holders, but I had these here already in the shop, and I think I'm gonna add another 2 rod holders to it. So we're gonna do something just like this. So now I will literally have more rod holders than I had on the back of my battery box that I had built back here, and 2 more tackle storage and a live well. And I'll show you really quick how this live well works so you can see that it is custom for this boat, like I said, because it utilizes these scupper holes that are right behind the seat of my kayak. So I got a scupper hole here and a scupper hole here. And on the bottom of this thing, you can see if I push this down, this little red thing comes out. This is your drain. So this will go into this left scupper hole, and then this tube here is designed to twist on, just like, where's it at? Trying to do this behind it, there you go. So this twists on here, and then this tube literally fits tight right down in this scupper hole, and it don't hang out the bottom of the boat. You're supposed to, the directions say that you cut this to get it to just where this little tip is sticking in the water, just in the crack of the boat. And that way you can still pull this thing up on the bank, you can get it up on sand, and it's not going to rip off or anything like that. So we're gonna make sure that that's adjusted just right to stick through the boat. And when we're done, let's see if I can go ahead and slide it down there so I can show you guys. That one goes in there, that one goes in there. Now, so you've got your intake tube will be on this side. Your outtake or drain will essentially be on this side. It's got a huge opening. I think this is a 10-inch opening. So I'm definitely not gonna be able to keep like bass in this thing, so y'all don't think I'm trying to create a bass tank on the back of this. But crappie, 8 gallons of water, I could throw 10 crappie in here if I wanted to keep them and come home and do a catch and cook one day. And also the bait, that's the main thing I wanted to have. I can fill this up to either 8 gallons or 5 gallons. It's got an adjustable hose over here, or I think it's like a little clip, and I can undo the clip and adjust the water level so that this thing automatically drains out when it gets over 5 gallons or 8 gallons. So I can control the amount of water in here, and it's got a little on and off switch. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Can you hear that? It's got a built-in pump. It's got its own built-in battery. You open this hatch here, and it's got this little lithium battery that pops right in the front. It comes with its own charger. This is a legit live well. And I think we're gonna, by the time I'm done with it in today's video, it's gonna be even more practical. Oh, and another cool thing, you know how we just added this custom marine mat? Well, one of the extra pieces that I got with the marine mat is because Hobie makes a couple of different lids. So Marine Mat sent me 2 of the options, and I used the other option on the lid that's in the floor, and this one fits right on top of this Hobie lid here. So it's literally gonna blend in. When we're done, we're gonna have the storage on the side, the 5 rod tubes, and a custom marine mat on the top of this, and I think it's gonna work out great. Now, I am gonna have to extend my battery, and I think what I'm gonna do is just relocate my Dakota Lithium to the back here. Y'all can see I've already been testing it out kinda on how I'm gonna do this. But I think I'm just gonna relocate my Dakota Lithium to back here. I thought about putting it in the front hatch, but I think it'll be easier and it'll level out the boat a little bit more because I do have the trolling motor, hanging off the front. So this is gonna do good right here. Gonna have the rod storage, gonna have our tackle storage. Actually, we're gonna have more storage by utilizing this Livewell tank than we had before, because before I was using just, my Ingle box with the battery in it, and yeah, I had the rod tubes around it, but it didn't hold any tackle. And now we're gonna have the battery behind everything. We're gonna be adding rod tubes to the back of this and the tackle storage, and on top of that, we're gonna have a Livewell tank on the back of the kayak. Whew. That's a lot of talking, sorry. I get excited, I'm trying to explain everything. So anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna start cutting these up. And if you're wondering how I'm going to attach these things, I'll tell you really quick before I start chopping it up. I probably won't show the whole process, but I'm gonna cut off the pieces that we don't need, kind of like how I did this hanger off the side of my boat over here. And I'm not gonna drill holes into the side of this for these. I've ordered some 2-inch heavy-duty Velcro strips, and I'll just have a Velcro strip down the side. I don't know how well y'all can see it over there, but this is sitting on top of cables right now, so it's got it lifted up. But I'm gonna get it where it's sitting flush, and then this is going to Velcro to the side of the Livewell here, and we'll be able to drop our boxes in on both sides. And I will drill 2 holes, for the rod tubes. And then that's gonna mount right in here somewhere. And I ordered some washers with the rubber bottoms on them, and you'll see them, I'll show them to you up close once I get the holes drilled and installed today. And I got those off Amazon. I'll share the link below if you're wondering about those. But anytime you're drilling into like your kayak or somewhere where you wanna keep it waterproof, always go with those washers they're kind of a dome-shaped washer with a rubber bottom, or I can't remember what it's called. It's not really a rubber, but anyway, it seals when you tighten it up so no water can get through. And that's what we're gonna use for the rod tubes, since we gotta drill holes into the bait tank. So yeah, let me get to work on this thing and I'll show you the finished product in just a minute. And here it is. This is the final outcome of the build today. I've got everything put together. I've got the Hobie Livewell. It's mounted in place. I've got the tube shortened the way it should be. Everything's wired up. I've got the extra tackle trays mounted on here. I've got 5 rod holders back here, and I would put rods in here just to show you, but the ceiling's not tall enough for my rods in here. But I've got the 5 rod holders. We relocated the Dakota Lithium to the back of the boat, just used my old battery box that I had. I hate that we did all that work on that Ingle a few weeks ago. Now I'm not using it, but I really like this layout. I have so much more. I've got extra rod tubes back here now, more than we had before. I've got tackle storage back here, which I didn't have before. And now we have a Livewell. So this thing, I'm gonna show you up close just a minute, but this thing is gonna be perfect. I did do a few little modifications to it to help strap it down in the kayak, but now everything on this boat is locked down. It's not going anywhere. The only thing I haven't added yet are like straps to hold these in, but usually what I do is these ride in the truck with me anyway, and once I get to the lake before I launch the kayak, I rig the kayak out, I put my tackle where it needs to go and stuff like that. So I ain't gotta really worry about it bouncing out when we're on the water, and I'm not gonna travel with them in here. But let me grab the camera, show you up close really quick, and you guys let me know what you think. All right, here she is. I love how clean this project turned out. Man, I love it when a plan comes together and it looks as good as it functions. I mean, that's a win in my book right there. But as you can see, here's my tackle storage. This is my older one, and these are the ones that now match the side of the boat. And I've got a set of these on both sides, and I mounted them the same way I told you I was at the beginning of the video. So I've got heavy duty, you can't really see it, but there you go. I've got heavy duty Velcro strips. It's a 10-inch strip I got going across here. It's 2 inches wide, and then I got a 5-inch strip that runs down this side. And it's stuck really good to the side of this kayak. They are not going anywhere. And I've got them on both sides. The marine mat, look at there. That marine mat turned out great. It fit right on my lid. I'm so glad that I actually kept this and didn't cut it up and use it for something else. So now it actually matches the rest of the kayak, as you guys can see. If you didn't see the video last week where I installed this marine mat kit, y'all click right there and you can see that video. But I added the rod tubes. This thing come factory, as you've seen earlier, with just these 3. I measured just right. I used the same tubes. I actually had the same tubes here in the shop. And this looks like it came with them to me. I mean, I don't think, I got the measurements perfect. They're all the exact same height off the thing. They're the same distance apart. And I got her mounted up. Now we can haul 5 vertical rods right behind the seat. Got the Dakota lithium battery mounted up pretty good back here. I will say these Livewells only come with 2 straps. So you see these really nice Hobie straps right here. And I've got one going here and then one going over there. And they work good, but they don't come with any way to strap the back of them down. So what I did, I pulled this little vent plug out, and it's just a regular little plastic vent plug. I got it right there. I pulled it out and replaced it with a bolt, but I used one of these hose clamps I have. It's like a rubberized black coating. It's stainless, so it's not gonna rust or anything like that. And I bolted it down there and I ran a strap. Let's see if I can show you. The strap goes through it and it pulls that down and actually just locks the whole thing down to the back of the boat. But the way I got it, I got the strap that comes out to the corner, and instead of just having a strap here and a strap here, I did one continuous strap. So I went through the corner here, and when I come across here, instead of going behind the battery box, I actually cut a hole in the battery box, or a slit. I used a hot knife and cut a slit. So I went straight through this battery box with the same strap. Then it comes out of the box here, back up through here, and then it hooks right here, and then it's got a rubber coating. I had this in the shop. It worked out really good, where I could actually cinch it down and lock this down. But by doing that and using it through the battery box here, it actually helped lock both things down. So it locked this down and that down all with one strap. And then I added some bungees right here just for, caution. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but I had the bungee and I had the extra hook here, so I went ahead and done it. Went ahead and added both my paddles back to the back of the kayak, because there are gonna be a lot of times that I don't take my drive system with me. We're just gonna be taking the plug and leaving the drive at home, and depending on the trolling motor, and if something was to happen, I do have my paddles back here I can click together and use those if I need to. But this thing turned out great. To operate it, there's a switch right here. You flip it on and off. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a pump. The water will come right out of that pump, which is stuffed down the scupper hole over there. And here is those washers I was telling you guys about before I forget to show you. There you go. So here's the factory ones, and then here's the ones that I put in. So it's the same exact washers. They're stainless steel. They got a rubber backing on them, and when you press it, when you tighten up those nuts, it actually presses in and seals those holes off. So I won't have to worry about anything leaking around any holes that I drilled. And it locked them on really well. I think this thing is gonna be great. I cannot wait to get out on the water and test this bad boy out. And it looks small on camera for some reason, but it's really not that small. This holds 8 gallons of water, which is a lot. Most people, if you fish and you keep your crappie, you usually just keep them in like a 5-gallon bucket. Back in the day when we'd go crappie fishing, that's how we kept them. So I can clearly see me being able to keep crappie if I want to go fishing. Once I get that live scope set up and I want to go out and catch a bunch of crappie and bring them home to clean them, I could essentially do it in this now if I wanted to. But I can also carry my minnows and stuff like that, shad if I want to go fishing at night. I've got the possibilities are endless now with this thing. I can't wait to try it out. Y'all be sure to keep an eye out for next week's video, because I am getting ready today to take this kayak out and we're gonna put it through the test. Over the next couple of days, I'm gonna try to do a lot of fishing, and I'm gonna take some minnow with me. We're gonna take it out, do some fishing. I'm gonna run through it. I'll film it all, show you guys how this thing actually works on the water. If I've got any issues, you'll be able to see right there in the video, so I can share that with you. That way, if you're interested in doing this to your kayak, you'll know what to look out for, but I don't think we're gonna have any problems. I'm really excited to try this thing out this week and do a lot of filming, you know, try it out, show you guys how it does, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I might even, if it does good with the minnow once we get out there and I get into catching some crappie, I may just switch over and start using it to store crappie in to get back home, because I'm really excited to see if I can do catch and cooks where I can actually bring, you know, 5, 10 crappie home with me in this thing and eat them. Basically, that's what I'm really wanting to do. So I hope this thing works out. I'm gonna film it all the next couple of days and share it with you. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you are subscribed, I really appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. I've got new merch right up under this video. You can click on my merch and it'll go to my website. You can check out I got some new designs. I don't have one on right now, but I got some new t-shirt designs. I got some new hat designs, some new stickers. Y'all click it and go check it out. If you wanna become a member of the channel and support me, you can do so by hitting that join button up under the video, become a member of the Yak Squad. I really appreciate all the support. It's people like you that help me to make these videos and get it out there to you. So I'm gonna get to work now, loading this thing up. We're gonna go make some more videos for you guys. So stay tuned and I'll see you next Thursday at 2 o'clock. Peace.